All right, guys. Well, I am very pleased to announce that it's finally over. It's finally dead and over because of Blake Lively, the actress. She has personally come down and ended modern feminism for me. And she did this by just being a modern feminist, also known as just generally being unbearable in today's world. We're going to talk about that. Plus, we have Rabbi Shmuley. Yes, my friend or foe. He's back in the news because he's apparently filed, I'm not kidding, guys, an FBI report against me. I'm going to go to prison for a very long time. And in other funny news, the DNC happened. Let's talk about that. That's what we have coming up on Candace. All right, so if you've been a follower of the show, a follower of me, you know that there are about 1,012 reasons why I hate modern feminism. I speak against it the entire time. Every little modern feminist movie that comes around, it just feels fluffy. It's like air. I mean, my general thesis is that what modern feminism is an army of spoiled brats who have never lived through anything at all in their entire lives. And so they sort of create this fantasy that they're a part of some cosmic struggle. I'm a modern feminist and I'm struggling against this or that. And if I'm trying to be a bit more thoughtful about why they do that, why you have these individuals who have literally perfect lives and they feel this need to problematize their perfect lives, I think it's because inside of everybody, there is this human need to believe that you have triumphed over some adversity, over some obstacle in your life. So what happens when your life is perfect? It becomes very difficult to satisfy that need. Modern feminism is born. And of course, I know you guys hate me for this because so many people love her, and that's fine. You can love her, you can bop her music, but I believe the icon of that sort of feminism is, in fact, Taylor Swift. No doubt about that. And so it is kind of saying something that her best friend is Blake Lively, and she is currently under a media assault because suddenly people are realizing that she's maybe not a nice person at all. So I'm going to run you through the background of what's going on and why it matters. First and foremost, to start with Blake Lively herself. She grew up incredibly wealthy in a very well-to-do neighborhood, as they say. Both of her parents were actors. Also, one of them doubled as a director. The other one doubled as a talent manager. She basically says that she grew up on set. So she's had this sort of LA fabulous life. She's got a famous sister who I actually like her movies better. You remember Teen Witch? Like, you know, that movie from a long time ago. That was her sister, Robin Lively, that starred in that. So her life is great. Her life has been amazing forever. And she's currently on tour right now promoting her new movie, which is entitled It Ends With Us. And people are learning via various interviews that she and her co-star, a guy named Justin Baldoni, actually sort of maybe hate each other. And this is also coming out because of some leaks that have drawn attention to this apparent rift. TMZ reported that Blake Lively has told people that there were multiple reasons that Justin Baldoni made her feel uncomfortable. It's a feminist buzzword. Uncomfortable on set of It Ends With Us. What do you think he did, Justin? Would he say something mean to her? Well, sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ that there was this scene that they had to film, right? And in the scene, Justin has to lift Blake into the air. And apparently, Justin has a history of back problems. So before he lifted Blake, he went onto his set. He met with his on-set trainer, and asked, how much does Blake weigh? Because he has back issues, so he's just trying to figure out, like, if he lifts her, is he going to re-injure his back? Now, he didn't go up and ask her this. He just asked his trainer, which would have been the appropriate person to ask that question, so he could figure out how to train and to protect his back from any injury. Well, Blake later found out about Justin's comment, and she felt that he completely fat-shamed her. So that tension was just in the air. How dare you try to protect your own back? You just go into it, lift me, and see what happens. And if you got to get a surgery and go on pills after that for pain, oh, well, too bad. I want to be clear here. Blake beefing with her co-stars is a very common thing over the years for people that grew up on Gossip Girl. That was kind of where she had her big break, so to speak. You'll recall that her and her co-star Leighton Meester, despite the fact that they were on-screen best friends, actually off-screen were not friends at all. And it was because, allegedly, Blake Lively had a difficult personality, which was reinforced when actor Armie Hammer notoriously got fired from the Gossip Girl team after playing the role of Blake Lively's love interest, because he referred to her while they were apparently filming this dinner scene. He allegedly referred to her in front of the entire cast, just said that she was a massive bitch. And so they fired him. They were just like, yeah, you can't speak to her like that. That's probably fair. Like, you can't really speak to somebody like that. It's not fair. Anyways, but was he trying to say something? Maybe. Then it was reported that in her movie A Simple Favor, where she starred alongside Anna Kendrick, that they were also not friends, and that basically the directors and producers of the film had to tell them to pretend to be friends for the press events, because it was coming across that, you know, these two obviously don't like each other and they still are not friends. Okay, so I just wanted to give you that general background, is that she's kind of known to not get along with people. Now, the reason for that, if you're a feminist, you go, oh, maybe she's just standing up for herself, because that's what she has told people in interviews. She's opened up about the fact that she struggles for equality, all of the struggles that she faces on behalf of trying to stand up as a woman. Here's a direct quote. She said, as a woman, you're afraid of a label that you may acquire by demanding fair treatment for yourself that you know that you've earned. And when she means that she's struggling for fair treatment, in another interview, she once opened up that, you know, she's raising her daughter with the right idea. She has a young daughter, and her and Ryan Reynolds, also an actor, decided in their household to refer to bugs as she and her instead of he and him. I'm being 100% legitimate there. They had decided to refer to bugs as he and her, because, I mean, she and her, because you obviously could see how a little girl could then think, I don't know, like, are all bugs guys? And that's not the right idea. So they've decided to engender all of the bugs as she and her. And I'm just wondering, like, is that good for feminism? I don't know, because in my house, we kind of squish bugs. So maybe she's just thinking she's just got to stomp on a woman to get ahead, because her family has told her to refer to bugs as she and her. And so that's what I mean when I just say just a general background of modern feminism just being unbearable. Like that, if I was at someone's house and they were like, please refer to the bugs as she and her, I just would be like, I don't really think I want to do that or be here. And so it's happened, and now you get to watch this, because a lot of that is innuendo. Okay, you're placing things together. People are saying she's not nice, but of course nobody's going to come out in Hollywood and outright say that she's awful. But you're now going to be able to watch her in an interview, because what's happened is that this Norwegian journalist named Kirsty Fla has come out and said, you know, a lot of people have been speaking about this behind the scenes, and I want to say that Blake Lively was so awful to me when I've interviewed her that she made me want to reconsider my career for asking her basic questions. So here's just the first part of that interview. It's Blake Lively alongside her co-star. In 2016, her co-star's name is Parker Posey, and they were filming this 1930 period drama. And Kirsty just wanted to ask Blake Lively a question about, you know, first and foremost, Blake Lively was pregnant while she was filming this. So she opens up with just like a nice compliment about her cute little bump. Take a listen.
First of all, congrats on your little bump.
Congrats on your little bump.
What about my bump?
You've got two nice ones.
They are kind of bumps, aren't they?
No, not bumps. The lovely lady lumps. Check it out.
Thank you, thank you.
Are
You like the movie? Are you a Woody Allen fan?
I love most of his movies, and this one was so, like, visually amazing.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
So that's just a start. It's going to get so much worse. But I just wanted to let you know that she's already kind of like, oh, why are you asking me about my bump? Like, how dare you do that? As if this woman meant any harm in it. Just like she looks cute. She has a bump. But, you know, this was in 2016. I would say that modern feminism peaked in 2016. Like, women were just doing things, you know. It was like Hillary Clinton was running for president and losing, but people were all about, like, you know, Me Too movement, the way men speak to women, why women have to even be women. And so you could see that, like, a woman just going in there and saying something about her pregnancy would instantly offend her. And then she did something way worse, the journalist. She asked her about the costumes. Take a listen.
Did you guys love wearing those kind of clothes that you...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, working in
Everyone
digital...
wants to talk about the clothes, but I wonder if they would ask the men about the clothes.
I would.
I love Jesse's
He has some
suits and
beautiful.
how
That's what I'm
he
saying. His wardrobe was beautiful.
I know.
Corey's
Everybody.
wardrobe
I
was
know.
gorgeous.
He's
Those
so
high-waisted pants.
He's so great.
I would wish men
And
wore
sorry,
high-waisted
too.
pants like
I
that.
know.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is your brain on feminism. I can't even explain this. Like, I can't even, it's a very good question to ask when you are shooting a 1930 period drama because people dressed fabulously. And so anytime you're doing something that dives into the past, I'm always fascinated with the costume design. Case in point, probably most notorious, is Peaky Blinders. I absolutely loved that series, and Cillian Murphy and the way the boys dressed and stood. In a second, I would have asked Cillian Murphy about the costume design on set. And so I thought, of course, there's got to be somewhere out there, because Cillian Murphy is known to kind of play a lot of these period dramas, of people asking him questions about what he wears. And would you believe this, guys? There is. So that's your brain on modern feminism. You get asked the question, you're immediately offended because, of course, they would never ask this to a man. The woman's like, yeah, no, I would ask that to a guy because, like, yeah, that makes sense. Here's your brain when you don't suffer from that and you're just a guy and you just think logically and try to, I guess, come up with the answer. Take a listen to him being asked about his outfits for Oppenheimer.
There's a moment in the movie that I really love where we see Oppenheimer and he's wearing this army uniform. And someone says to him, like, "What? This isn't you. You're a scientist.
Yes.
Why are you wearing that?" And I think it really highlights how clothing can help us unlock and harness, like, ourselves and who we are. So for you guys, with the costumes in this film, how did it help in unlocking these characters and finding out who they were for you?
That's a great question. He after that moment in the film, and if you remember, he kind of, in our story, he puts on the hat and picks up the pipe, and it's him kind of creating this persona. It's him kind of self-mythologizing, and we worked very closely with our wonderful costume designer to design the clothes, and particularly I wanted to get his kind of his silhouette, you know, because he was very fragile. He was very, very slim, and I wanted to get that silhouette right.
There you have it, guys. He just answered the question because, of course, people are going to be interested. It's kind of a thing that's known that Cillian Murphy kind of kills it in these outfits. And you are drawn when you are watching film. There's an element of that that's so beautiful when you see them stepping into another decade and the way that they dress and how a simple hat can add so much depth to a scene. And again, that is why I loved Peaky Blinders so much. I even loved the way they stood. Like, I would just be asking a question like, hey, why did you stand like that? But you see, this is the stuff that men don't suffer from. And ironically, she's trying her hardest in that interview not to be a woman when she's asked that question, like, you can't ask me about pregnancy, you can't ask me about outfits. And in reality, her reacting like that, she leans into the oldest and truest stereotype about women: over-emotional. Right? We just can't think clearly. We're just so emotional about the question. She doesn't even actually answer it, and instead just makes another woman feel like absolute crap for asking a question that, like, she should have just answered. And so this woman came out and said, yeah, I almost literally quit my job because, by the way, that wasn't the only time that she had interviewed her. She interviewed her for Also a Simple Favor. She was similarly rude. And I think that in her modern feminist mind, she thinks that when she's being rude, she's taking a stance for women, and she's not. Do you want to know why? Because the majority of women, the overwhelming majority, as in like everybody, like the 99.9 percentile of women, have real struggles in their lives. They're not playing dress up, right? They don't have to think that the biggest struggle they're going to go through in the day is going to be somebody asking a question about whether or not they liked wearing the outfits while they were playing pretend. What a wonderful blessing your life is if you wake up and you're like, this is the struggle that I face. Somebody's going to ask me whether or not I liked playing pretend when I wore that outfit. So she problematizes it, everything in her life. And so to see this backlash against Blake Lively, I don't have an issue against her personally. I think it's great that her and Ryan Reynolds put their family first in a lot of ways, and she seems like she's a great mother and a great wife. But I'm grateful that she's going through this because it's making a lot of people question what, in fact, modern feminism has become. And this is it. It's whiny, it's bratty, and it needs to end. So to that, I say thank you to Blake Lively. All right, guys, I want to throw it to one of the sponsors of the show, Native Path. Finding an honest doctor who isn't following in the footsteps of Big Pharma, which I hate, can feel impossible. That's why millions of men and women have turned to Native Path's vast selection of high-quality nutrition products. Native Path was created by a Texas doctor of physical therapy who discovered how poor nutrition was linked to many of the health issues his patients were dealing with on a daily basis. Their original collagen peptides include a unique protein that naturally declines with age and is proven to significantly increase bone strength and soothe joint pain. It minimizes wrinkles and cellulite, enhances hair follicle thickness, and even reverses nail damage, with users reporting results in as little as 2 weeks. As a partner of the show, Native Path is offering my listeners up to 45% off his joint, bone, and ligament restoring formula at nativepath.sale/Candace. The discount will be auto-applied. Native Path has thousands of 5-star reviews and over 4 million jars sold already. Every order comes with a 365-day money-back guarantee, so there is no risk to try it. Listeners can visit nativepath.sale/Owens to get up to 45% off while supplies last. Again, that's nativepath.sale/Candace. All right, you guys, let's get into some stories. Let's start with the story. Rabbi Shmuley. I don't know what to say about this guy. He is, listen, if you were not following my old show at the Daily Wire, and you're following the new show, I'll bring you up to date. I'll kind of put the two shows together. So Rabbi Shmuley and his hag daughter began a harassment campaign of me that lasted, I'm not kidding, 2 years. It actually hasn't ended. I shouldn't say it lasted 2 years. It began for 2 years after they were kind of wanting me to say something about Kanye West, who was my friend, and I don't believe in publicly throwing your friends under the bus. And he was basically like, you will do this or else. And they were like, we're coming for you. We're literally coming for you, and we're going to harass you until you lose your job. So I'm going to show you just a compilation of their clips over the years of the stuff that they said to me. Literally, the only reason for this was because I wouldn't throw Kanye West under the bus 2 years ago. So take a listen.
Candace Owens is gripped with a poisonous, almost pathological hatred of Jews. It's actually become very serious. It's actually almost frightening. When you see a woman like Candace Owens blood libeling the Jewish people, by the way, Candace Owens is losing it. Her anti-Semitism goes by the day.
There is something really, truly wrong with Candace Owens. You guys know that I dislike liars and anti-Semites more than anything in a whole entire world. And here, we have a combination of both. Candace Owens simply will not stop defending Kanye West. It's like an obsession. If she's unable to genuinely and authentically condemn what Kanye said, it says a lot about her. If you come for us, we'll come back at you with everything that we have. I have heard from hundreds of you who feel so backstabbed and betrayed and disappointed in Candace Owens and others who defended, who enabled and encouraged Kanye West to continue spreading lies and venom and medieval Jewish hatred. Candace Owens posted a picture of my face and my name and my account to her over 4 million followers yesterday, many of whom are violence crazed and unhinged.
You really went after Candace Owens today. Why?
That's a sliver of what she actually deserves. She is such a liar. She is an anti-Semite. She hates Jews. She has a thing with Jews.
It's incredible, isn't it? Like, weird.
And while Jews are being attacked around the world, she finds it really necessary to spend her time, use her platform to defend and protect Kanye West while she talks
a Hitler lover.
Crap about
Kanye
Israel.
West is not just a anti-Semite. He's a Hitler lover. That's a different level altogether.
Literally. She is abominable. I actually am disgusted by her because she hates Israel. We are coming for you, Candace, on the media, on social media, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter.
The more she defends Kanye West, the more we're going to call her out.
Defending Kanye, we will come for you.
Hi, everybody. Purim is a day of celebration. We feel bad for Candace Owens that she lost her job, so I figure with her image of what Jews are supposed to look like, why not at least validate her? I am dressed up as a Candace Owens Jew. Now, this is not a Christian child, this is a Jewish child. But if it would be, I got my Christian blood. Spicy, delicious. I got my Jewish nose. I have filth, because Jews are all filth. And more than anything else, what does Zadie have? Money!
I don't know, guys. Well, I want to be very clear. Jews are not filth. Rabbi Shmuley is in fact filth. And if that is going to inspire an FBI report, because I say he's filth and I am just going to maintain that opinion until the day I die, I guess I got to get visited by the FBI. I don't know if they're going to knock, knock. Who's there? Excuse me, did you not allow Rabbi Shmuley to just attack you for 2 years unchecked? Who do you think you are? I mean, it's just, okay. Is this why we're going to the police? It's like, I'm going to the FBI. What? I'm going to the FBI. Just him and his hag daughter are they really are just a study. You know, when we speak about radical Zionism and the picture of that, it's these two. Obviously, they do tremendous harm to the Jewish community. I mean, and I know, I want to be clear, there are virtually no people in the Jewish community that think that his brand is good for them. You've heard Jewish people on the show, whether Zionist or not, say that they obviously recognize that he is unhinged. And he is unhinged while at the same time insisting that I am unhinged. But yeah, they reported that he went to the FBI to file a complaint against me because I am saying that he and his daughter are trying to murder me. Yeah, no, I didn't say that, but he thinks that I've said that. And he said also because I insinuated that he killed Michael Jackson. I have literally no idea what he's talking about, but I want him to just do what he and his hag daughter feel needs to be done. I think their relationship is very strange. I've said that. I think it's weird to sell sex products with your father, and I think it's weird that they just won't step into the background. You know, if he actually cares about the plight of Jewish people, he should probably realize that he's not the best spokesperson, because people all around the world of all races and all religions pretty much accept the fact that Rabbi Shmuley is just unwell, just a mentally unwell individual. And he needs a little more than maybe just some rest at a hospital, just a little bit of rest, take a break, do the thing that celebrities say when they say they're suffering from exhaustion. And he can take his little outfit with him if he'd like to. But yeah, I just had to show you that because I thought it was absolutely hilarious that he's actually gone to the FBI to report me. He's like, you will support Israel and say something about Kanye West, or else we're going to the FBI. Totally normal mainstream stuff, you guys. All right, speaking of totally normal mainstream stuff, let's talk about the DNC last night. They had their convention. The Democrats had their convention. And I mean, it went about as expected, I would say. And by as expected, I mean that Donald Trump got a bump in the polls. It's a fact. Donald Trump got a bump in the polls. Strangest moment for me was just seeing people cry when Joe Biden walked out. I don't know, it was like a tear, as if he was coming back from war. They were chanting his name. I'll just show you a very brief clip here of Nancy Pelosi. I think she's saying something in her eyes when she doesn't really want to join this chant, but take a look. We loved you, Joe. Okay, she's like, I don't love him that much. I don't know. Literally, there were people crying when he walked out. I mean, it was like somebody was back from the dead. Totally weird. Well, actually, not weird. He is kind of back from the dead. I get it now. I actually changed my position on that. I get why some people were crying, because it does feel a little bit like he's back from the dead. But, it's just really interesting to kind of see that and just wonder what it is that people are crying over. And I also want to show you this clip of the issues that they decided to take on. Before we get to that, I do want to thank Pure Talk. I'm going to give you guys a little wireless hack that can cut your cell phone bill in half every single month. And you guys know that is simply switching to Pure Talk. Pure Talk is a cell phone company that I use, and it only charges you for data that you actually want. And for just $25 a month, you can get unlimited talk, text, and 5 gigs of data, plus a mobile hotspot. Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile want you to believe that you need unlimited data so that they can overcharge you. But the fact is that most of you are buying way more data than you will ever need. Do you know what you can do with 5 gigs of data? You can browse the internet for 135 hours, stream 1,000 songs, or watch 10 hours of Candace Owens video. That's the pitch. So stop overpaying for wireless and get 5G coverage with Pure Talk. Switching is very easy. There's no contract, no activation fee, and you even get to keep your phone number. So head to puretalk.com/Owens. Again, that is puretalk.com/Owens, and you'll save an additional 50% off your first month with Pure Talk. Okay, back to the DNC, because I'm sure so many of you guys did not actually watch it, but here are the issues, and they just are so theatrical. Speaking, of course, about Project 2025, and I think, by the way, this was actually a moment. I thought it was powerful. Take a listen.
I'm Michigan State Senator Mallory McMorrow, and this is Project 2025. Tonight, I want to tell you about just one aspect of Project 2025. It's planned to turn Donald Trump into a dictator. Okay, right here on page 535, it says, quote, reissue Trump's Schedule F executive order to permit discharge of non-performing employees. Now that doesn't sound that scary, right? But here's what it actually means in plain English. If Donald Trump gets back into the White House, he's going to fire civil servants like intelligence officers, engineers, and even federal prosecutors if he decides that they don't serve his personal agenda.
And that, my friends, is likely why people decided to support Trump, because I think that's kind of the point. I think we do want to fire people in government. I think the whole goal here is to decrease the burden that Americans are facing because of our high taxes, because all the Democrats do, they pretend that there's been a boost in jobs. They're like, oh, we've added 100,000 more jobs in government. We've added it in the IRS, and now they are going to sit there and nickel and dime every hardworking American who's just trying to get by and feed their family. And why don't we fire those people and instead stop spending our money overseas on all of these senseless wars that never seem to end and don't serve any of our interests? I think that is one of the best parts about Project 2025. And by the way, I was happy to see actually one of the writers at the Babylon Bee, Joel Berry, tweeted this morning, like, I actually finally looked through Project 2025. And isn't this what we want? Yes. Yes, that is a good thing. There's nothing wrong with it other than the fact that we have allowed the script to be set by Democrats who are operating, I think, with low information, or they generally do want to be taxed into oblivion. I mean, what is the appeal here? Like, I think genuinely Project 2025 is scary for people who don't want to get up and go to work and do anything and simply want governments to just give them handouts. Like, they just want that $300 COVID check to roll in every couple of weeks, and they have no sense of purpose. Then I would say do not vote for Donald Trump. Do not vote for Republicans. Their mission is to actually have people who want to work be rewarded for that work by decreasing the tax burden. But for the rest of us, that sounds pretty good. So I think that prop that she was holding, which just looked extraordinarily goofy, and everything that she was saying, people at home who are Democrats are going, wait, what's wrong with that? I think that's something that I can get behind, because you know what? We are not living in the best economic climate, which brings me to American financing. I know that everyone is getting stressed because of your monthly income. It just doesn't seem to be covering the bills anymore. You're not alone. Most Americans feel this way. Everything's getting more expensive. People are reaching more and more for credit cards to cover basics like childcare, insurance, power, and food. It is tough. If you're feeling this way, you should call my friends at American Financing. They are helping hardworking Americans just like you tap into their home equity to pay off their high interest debt and even create some additional savings to be ready for whatever life throws your way. With interest rates dropping, a company like American Financing that never charges any upfront or hidden fees is the perfect partner to help you get into better financial shape. Their consultants are saving homeowners an average of $800 a month. Waiting is not an option. Call today. You may delay 2 mortgage payments if you do. The number is 800-795-1210. Again, that's 800-795-1210. Or if you want to make it easy, you can visit americanfinancing.net/Owens. Okay, you guys, let me jump into the chat. I get into this chat, okay? I'm going to read a couple of super chats and then just read the live chat. I just see somebody wrote transitioning. Who like, what is going on? Oh, thank you. That was a good ad transition. Thank you. That was a good ad transition. Transitioning like Bruce Jenner. I get it. Haha. This person says the MK Ultra team gave me a house. I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm going to get into some of these super chats. This person writes, not a question. I just want to say I love you, Candace. Thank you, Savage. I see that. Quick says, my favorite description of Rabbi Shmuley's daughter is a hag. Yeah, I mean, I just think like she's got a face for radio. I don't know. I just think I wouldn't be on camera that much if that's what I looked like and speaking like such a little witch, you know, like, I'm going to get her if she doesn't say something about Kanye like for 2 years. It's kind of weird. It's a little, it's giving a little obsessed. It's giving a little neurotic, to say the least. This person, RMNL, writes, watching from work. I love what you do, Candace. Keep it up. Same from T. May Dinger as well. Thank you guys for all these super chats. Jody writes, McMorrow is a disgrace to Michigan. McMorrow, by the way, is the name of the the senator who just spoke and with the big prop and said that Project 2025 was something to be feared, right along with Whitmer, who this person aptly describes as Witchmer, another hag. Dean Voltaire says Biden's mortician did a good job on his makeup, though. Seemed lifelike. Yes, that's why I'm saying. That's why they were crying. They were like, this magician of a makeup artist has brought our president back from the dead. I think he's also got some injections going on. Holly Motto writes, Bassem Youssef account canceled on Twitter. Israel official account commenting bye. I mean, I gotta just know who's running the Israel official account. I don't know. I just feel like given the PR crisis that they're facing, like maybe leaning out of like, we control America, kind of like, I feel like that's what they're signaling when they say goodbye or whatever, like we control stuff, would probably just be advisable. Hire me for PR. I could just be like, hey, it's just not advisable right now. You know, that we should just maybe not be saying LOL by Bassem Youssef. Now, but I want to be clear, I don't know if Bassem was suspended or if he deleted his account, which is why I didn't comment on that. I don't know if it has been confirmed whether or not he deleted his account. For those of you who are not aware, perhaps, of who Bassem Youssef is, he is a Egyptian pro-Palestinian voice who initially went viral in an interview with Piers Morgan. I think he did a very good job in a very calm way of explaining the Palestinian side of the debate. And since then, he's sort of been this, I guess, shot into the world as a spokesperson for what's going on into Palestine. In Palestine, his wife, my understanding, is Palestinian. So that is why he said that. It's Archie writes, I just want to say your work isn't going without return. So many people are having their eyes opened. I know, and I say virtually every episode, I just want to thank you guys, because despite the firestorm of everything that happened this weekend, more people signed up for our locals page, went to locals.com and gave and supported, because I almost think now the media is just in an echo chamber. Like, they write the articles for themselves. So they kind of pass it around. It's like, you know, the New York Post is writing for Daily Mail and they're all like, yes, we've got this person, but they are completely out of touch with the American people. They have no idea. They cannot predict which way culture is going. And I have faced these firestorms before for being really just ahead of the curve. I mean, I think the first one, which was the most, maybe not the most vicious, but the first one I recall was the Me Too one. I mean, Republicans and Democrats were in lockstep on Me Too. And you go back, and I was the first one to tweet, like, this is ridiculous movement, and got canceled. And people were saying, Charlie Kirk, you better not have her ever on the stage again. She supports rape. People were crying at Turning Point, being like, I can't work for this organization if she supports rape. That seemed dramatic thesis in the media. Like, she supports rape. Like, why would I support rape? I just think that there's obviously something wrong with the Me Too movement when you can condemn men who are not able to go through the system and prove their innocence. They're just being socially lynched. And then, of course, the world caught up. And then I think the second time I ripped a hole in the universe was when I said, I don't support Black Lives Matter. And my goodness, people were, how could you as a Black person ever say this? And that was only quadrupled when I said that the George Floyd thing, the story that was being told, I mean, the media was like, yes, this is it, the George Floyd narrative. And then I just went on Facebook and ripped a hole through that narrative, and people were upset. And again, the public was angry. I mean, the media was angry, but the public had never been more on my side. And the donations poured in, and they were like the lone voice to stand against this. And so the media has just become a mob that speaks to itself, you know, and I think the majority of people are rational. They are not believing these narratives. The cancel culture is a culture that has come to its natural end. You know, you don't get to just call people racist because you don't want to listen to why a Black person might not support Black Lives Matter. You don't get to call a woman a self-hating misogynist because you don't want to listen for the very sensible reasons why a woman might feel that the Me Too movement actually will do more harm in the end, as I felt. And you don't get the right to call somebody anti-Semitic because they are pointing to the fact that Israel is harboring pedophiles, you know, and it's not appropriate. And it feels as though we are not allowed to say anything, even on the topic of pedophilia, about Israel without having the entire mainstream media come down on us. And we, I think, especially as Americans, but all across the world, just need to remember that the media is not God. It's not, right? And the media does not get to set the tone for what it is that we listen to. They're not bigger than us. They don't exist without us. So they can yellow journalism themselves to sleep every single night. You know, Rabbi Shmuley and his daughter and the New York whatever and every single mainstream media outlet can say whatever they want because they no longer reflect how the people feel. What the people feel is that we are tired of being subjected to what is so obviously a global power, a power in which always renders American freedom somehow less free every time we are made to subject ourselves to it. And I feel just incredibly grateful and incredibly blessed that you guys have been on this journey, the way that the show has changed. And I just want you guys to know that I wake up every day and I say a prayer of gratitude for all of you all around the world, for continuing to stay with me and for just being, I guess, so impervious to the media bullets, which I think that we all are at this moment. Anyway, you guys have still some special stuff coming out this week. Tomorrow, we are going to discuss the USS Liberty because I finally got around to watching a little documentary on it, and it is so much worse than anything. I mean, just as the patriot in me was just screaming as I was going through this. I didn't realize it, and I want to apologize ahead of time to the USS Liberty survivors that I'm this late to ever commenting on it. And then we have a couple of other surprises this week, which will be coming along, which you'll probably hear about tomorrow. Anyways, go to locals.com if you want to support the show, plus get the book list. And just grateful for you guys always. We'll see you tomorrow.